Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Over the past 2 days, we have seen why it is so crucial to be focusing on where previous resistance could turn into support on the overall market. If you guys have been staying tuned to the channel, you know that we were eyeing those September highs, the 50 SMA on the daily chart, for a potential place for the market to hold up. Yesterday, we found that support, and today we saw a monster rally off of those levels. And with that, I went ahead and caught an awesome trade on Apple from yesterday into today. One of the strongest names today, an absolutely monster move, over 100%. And in today's video, I want to go ahead and break down how I found that trade, not only with the technicals on Apple, but also with the technicals on the overall market. If you guys come to my channel, you guys know I stress the importance of looking at the futures, knowing what's going on with that overall market to get a good idea of what these specific stocks could do in the following days. So let's go ahead and run over this trade, Apple trade. I'm still holding partial of it, sold majority of it today. And then after we go over Apple, I'm going to show you another trade that I took today that has an almost identical setup that I am very bullish on over the next few days. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into this. Press that like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And most important, do not miss the pre-market live streams where we go over all of this data every single morning, all of the analysis, preparing ourselves for the morning and preparing us for the market day. All right, guys, so before we go over Apple in specific, we need to look at the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ drives all of this. It drives the tech stocks, and the strength that we saw in the NASDAQ is what drove Apple higher. And spotting out where the NASDAQ can hold up and reverse to the upside is part of the reason why I was able to catch Apple to the upside as well. Knowing that the NASDAQ was that key support, key technical support, a previous high turning into previous resistance turning into support. Knowing that those technical levels were there on the NASDAQ to support my Apple trade is why I had the confidence to go ahead and take it yesterday into today. So here on the daily chart on the NASDAQ, you guys are going to see we pulled back about 7% since late November. Where did we pull back to? We pulled back right to the 50 SMA. Not only that, but September highs, previous resistance turning into support. This is a beautiful break and retest, turning that previous resistance here into support. That is what I love to see. This is my main trading strategy, the break and retest, looking for spots on the market where previous resistance goes ahead and turns into support. There is really nothing quite as bullish than seeing previous resistance and going ahead and coming back and turning it as support, having the buyer step in where we previously sold off from. So you have this previous resistance, you held at a support. This is your 15.7 level. This is your September high. If you guys have been sticking around to the channel on the live streams from all of my videos, if you watched my Sunday video, then you know that this 15.7 level was the key. And when we saw us hold that yesterday, start to break above a few very important levels and close a little bit higher, that was the giveaway that we could potentially see some continuation into today. So if we break this down into the hourly chart, I'll go ahead and show you exactly what I was seeing yesterday that made me bullish and that made me interested in more upside on the overall market and potentially on a stock like Apple. So if I go into, if I zoom in here, I'm going to zoom into just the last few days, guys. And what you'll see, this is Thursday, Friday, yesterday, and today. What you'll notice here between Friday and yesterday, this is a beautiful double bottom on the market. Now, this double bottom just is not at some random place. This is a double bottom at 15.7. This is a double bottom at September highs. And this is a double bottom at the 50 SMA on the daily chart. All of those things combined makes me very bullish. And those are the times where you have to take those calculated risks, believing that you can try to trust these technical levels to try to take a play off of it. Taking a play yesterday provided fantastic risk to reward because you know your risk is just below these lows and your potential reward is a massive rally, and that is exactly what we got today. Now, the one thing that made me bullish yesterday was the break above 15.8. Now, why the break above 15.8? If I go to the 5-minute chart and I zoom into the last few days, the reason I was very bullish on the break above 15.8 was because it was right here where we previously found some resistance. I knew that if we went ahead and broke this resistance, from the highs of Monday pre-market, we would definitely find some continuation because this was a previous high. And if we make a higher high, that is when I start to think that the trend reverses. So when I saw the hold at 15.7, the break above 15.8, making a higher high intraday yesterday, and a hold into close, that is what made me confident in taking a swing trade into today on Apple, which is a very strong stock. We're not quite into that. Let's focus on the futures, but Apple is just a very strong stock, and I'll talk a little bit more about that when we get into the Apple trade. So NASDAQ, beautiful hold, 50 SMA, 15.7 September highs. I absolutely love this move today. Maybe we give back a little bit tomorrow, but I have to believe that the bulls are in control. Quickly, I want to show you the ES, which is absolutely beautiful as well. September highs, 50 SMA right here. Previous resistance turning into support. An absolutely beautiful, beautiful move. So congratulations to anyone that trusts the technicals out there, takes calculated trades off technical levels, doesn't let emotions get into their head. If you did that yesterday, you went ahead and profited huge today. So with that said, now that we know why the NASDAQ moved higher, let's go ahead and jump into Apple. So guys, here is Apple on your screen. You'll see that Apple went ahead and broke above new highs today, new all-time highs, and a very, very nice move. On the daily chart, you can see this is a little bit of messy price action. And the trade that I took was not based off the daily chart. I didn't look for my entry on the daily chart. What I was overall focused on the macro side of things was how strong Apple has held up in the downside move that we have seen, right? So November 22nd was the day that the market started to move lower. And that move from the high of this day to the low here was just about 5% on Apple. And you can see how strong Apple held up here at these previous highs, even in the midst of the market pulling back. So I knew that Apple was a strong outperformer. And if I know that, then I definitely want to be looking for Apple to play to the upside if I believe the NASDAQ is strong. Because if the NASDAQ recovers and I play a stock that has been resilient, then it should just double that move to the upside, and it should help Apple even higher, even better than some other tech stocks that have been relatively weak. So knowing that in my mind, knowing that macro, Apple has been a very strong name, that is why I was interested in it yesterday. So where did I find my specific entry on this trade? Actually, I found this entry on the hourly chart. The hourly chart is where I actually found this entry, and I'll go ahead and show you guys exactly where I went ahead and got in. Actually, you know what? I think we can probably look at it on the 30-minute chart just a little bit better. So let's go ahead and use the 30-minute and use this as where I went ahead and got this entry. So here's the 30-minute. Over the last 20 days, here is where I went ahead and caught this. So let me go ahead and scale this real quick for us to make sure we look at this correctly. Here we go. All right, guys. So yesterday, we went ahead and we broke. Yesterday is right here where you guys see this volume increasing. This is where Apple broke above yesterday. We had a very strong move on Apple yesterday after the NASDAQ held up. Now, Apple moved higher and pulled back. Where did it pull back to? It pulled back right to these previous highs around this 165 level. If I zoom into this a little bit closer, let's say onto the 5-minute, what you guys will notice here yesterday, here's on the 5-minute, what you'll see is that Apple pushed higher yesterday, pulled back, it pulled back right to these Friday highs right here and held those levels beautifully. So when I saw Apple push higher yesterday, pull back, find support intraday at that Friday high, which is right here at 165. When I saw that, I wanted to take my shot. It provided me very good risk to reward. I'll go ahead and pull up where I entered this trade. Right here, you guys can see this was it. Grabbing 1217 Apple 170 call at 12:11 p.m. When I say playing off Friday high, here's the chart that we were looking at the time. So if I zoom in, you'll see that chart. We pulled back, held that Friday high, and that's when I went ahead and got into this play. I said that my stop would be below 165. If we drop below 165, which was that Friday high, I get out of the trade. And that would be providing a very good risk to reward because at this point, it was about a point lower. So if I'm wrong, I take my loss. If I'm right, I have a lot of upside potential on this trade. So we see Apple held 165, and that is why I went ahead and held it into today. So if we go into the shorter term time frames, I'll show you exactly where that is. You guys can see that is right here. Apple double bottomed right here intraday on the 1 minute chart. That's right at 165, and that is right at the Friday's highs, which also correspond to the highs that were back here on the 22nd of November. That's actually the day before the market started to sell off, right? So these technicals, they all line up. When I started to see Apple pull back to the Friday high, to the November 22nd high, when I started to see that level hold up, I knew that my risk to reward was great. I knew that if we drop below that level, this stock would not hold up. And if we find previous support or previous resistance turning into support, that is a break and retest. That's what I look for all the time. And when I saw that occur, that was my entry. And you guys can see what happened today. We got a beautiful move off of that Friday high right here. You'll see it right here. Friday high, push higher, pull back, hold of that previous level, turning resistance into support, and that is the move that we went ahead and got today. I'm not that focused on the overall money that I made or the percentage that I made. What I want to focus on here, guys, is how I found the trade. How I find the trade is more valuable to you guys watching because you can replicate this trade, you can look at the technicals that I look at, and you can try to find these trades yourself. Now, there's another stock that made this exact same setup today, and that is Tesla. Believe it or not, Tesla creating a beautiful break and retest of Friday's highs, or I'm sorry, of Friday's key levels, and I want to go ahead and show that to you right now. First of all, before we get into the shorter term time frames, I am looking more than anything, looking at this daily chart on Tesla. I love how Tesla held $1,000 yesterday. We pushed lower, we pushed back higher, we held 1,000, a beautiful bullish wick. And when I saw that $1,000 hold yesterday, I became very interested because I know that Tesla is somewhat forming a bull flag here and that there could be some very nice upside into the downtrend here on Tesla. Now, why did I take it today? Why did I take this trade? If I go into, let's go into the 15-minute chart, I will show you guys exactly what made me interested in this trade. So what you'll see is that today, when Tesla went ahead and pulled back, it pulled back right to some of these previous levels back from Friday of last week. So here's Friday, here's Monday, and here's today. And what you'll notice is when Tesla pulled back, it had a beautiful little hold at these Friday's levels. So right here at 10:30, you can see that Tesla pushed higher, pulled back. When it pulled back, where did it hold? It held this previous resistance, and it turned it into perfect support. If I go into the 1 minute chart and we go into where that is, right here, guys, look at where Tesla found support. It's right at this circle. It is a beautiful bottom intraday, and that's not just some fancy area, some magical area. That is Friday's levels. That is previous resistance turning into support. If I see that, I'm taking it 9 out of 10 times. I don't care because I know that if I'm wrong, the risk is minuscule. If I'm wrong, my stop is below this 1030 level. I get out for a small loss. If I'm right, the upside potential is huge because I am catching this thing before this move starts. I'm catching it off of previous resistance, turning into support. I know that support is down below, and I can go ahead and take a contract looking for more upside. I shared this trade in the Discord chat. We'll see what happens. If I'm wrong, so be it. If we catch this move, we're in early, and we'll see if Tesla can try to push higher into this downtrend. I would assume resistance starts to come in around this 1080 level. That's where these previous lows were. So that is the level that I am watching on Tesla for potential resistance tomorrow. We'll see what happens. I love the setup, and when I love a setup, guys, I'm going to take the trade because this is my strategy, and I have to stick to my strategy. I can't let emotions get into my head. I can't let anything change why I'm taking a trade. I like the technicals, and if I see that, I'm going to have to go ahead and take it and manage my risk accordingly. All right, guys, so that is all that I have for you in today's video. Apple trade, beautiful. Congratulations to anyone caught that over 100% today, this morning. Very nice move here in the after hours. Still holding one contract, so we'll see what happens tomorrow on it. Beautiful technical levels, beautiful technical setup. Very happy that I caught that one. Second, Tesla. Very similar technical setup, and when I see that setup, guys, I have to take it. This is my strategy. I can't deviate from it because of emotions. I have to stick to my strategy. If I see it, I take it. I manage risk accordingly. We'll see what happens this week. Congratulations to everyone that did well today. Congratulations to anyone that dip bought some of that panic that we saw over the last few weeks. We'll see if this market can continue. Of course, no matter what scenario the market gives us, even if we're extremely bullish, making sure you have portfolio risk in check. Make sure that you never get taken out of this game. Make sure at no given time you are risking too much of your portfolio. No matter how bullish the market looks, things can change on a dime. Staying in this game has proven to be the way to go over and over again. If you got taken out last week because you were over bullish and you saw that downside, then unfortunately you wouldn't have been around for the beautiful day that we saw today. So with all that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, press the like button. If you want to join the Discord chat, it is the first link down below. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel. And of course, come hang out in the pre-market live streams starting every day at 8 a.m. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and hope to see you in the next one. Peace.